are here on a breezy day at the ACWCL with Carmen, the president of the organization.
Hello.
So thanks for having us. And you know, it's a beautiful day. The sun's out.
Oh, gorgeous.
And you've got ponds out here.
Yeah, can't beat it.
So with that, can you take us on a little tour maybe of what's, you know, with the ponds and what you have around here that we can kind of see? And so if anybody's interested in becoming a member, because I know you have memberships.
We do have memberships.
They can sign up, but we can give them a tour of what they will be able to take, take benefit of, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So Carmen, tell us a little bit about the ACWCL, like history. I mean, it's been going on for a very long time.
It's been a very long time. We have the ACWCL, if I'm not mistaken, around 1947.
Wow.
I want to say. Yeah, so we've been here a long time. It's came a long way in the way of, you know, how we educate people of wildlife, the conservation piece of it. We, from 5 to 105, you know, we definitely have strived to reach that goal over the last, 60 years or so. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so it's good for kids, all ages, obviously.
All ages.
And to be able to come here to do anything, you have to have a membership?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Well, yes and no. So yes, you have to become a member to come here, and on 365 days a year, we're always open. That membership, you can come down and go fishing. You can come down and, let the kids play on the playground and that type of thing. Now, we do have events that are open to the public. So if you're not a member, you can still come down, enjoy those events, and hopefully become a member. So
there you go. So has it always been this big, and how did you get the farm? I mean, obviously this was a farm when it started with, because I know you have the house over there, and I know a little bit about that. So it started that way. So, I mean, how did that all kind of happen?
It actually started happening way back in 1828. And so that's when that house up there was originally put in as a log home. And from there, they had acreage around. And this actually that we're standing was their bake barn from the probably mid to late 1800s it was put in. So this was always a working farm for them. But then when it was sold, that's when it became property of ACWCL and no longer really a whole working farm. And so it became as a part of the nonprofit organization that we have always been since, all those years ago.
That's so, and I think it was kept within the family too. I mean, when it started way back when, if I recall, it started with a mom and dad, and then it went through the cycle of the kids, and then even when it went up through, I mean, I think with the last person that owned it, there is still some relationship
now.
Way back when. It's crazy.
So we had the people, and she was like a great granddaughter of the original people that had the home. And then one of our members currently who works on the homestead committee, and she's actually related to them along the years. So so generationally or ancestrally, one of our members is actually a relative.
Oh my gosh, wow. What are some of the other things that you do here, as far as, that when the public can come in, because I know you do you do different kids events, you just had a chili cook-off recently, you have different events coming up.
We do try to have just a variety of events that offers the opportunity for, if you want to come down and use the ponds, if you want to come down and enjoy one of, like she said, we had a chili cook-off. That was super fun. We do a Kids Day. Kids Day is one of our biggest events where we, 200 kids come through here, and we have different stations, and boy, the education is in full bloom on that day. We try to host, even small events like craft nights and that time, just to get, people stimulated and to come and visit the farm, because it's absolutely too precious just to keep it a secret.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Well, can we go outside and look at the ponds?
Sure, let's
see?
do.
Yeah. So we're here by the ponds, and you got 2 bigger ponds, and you've got 2 small little, I don't know, little ponds, I guess. So give us a little bit about them. What can we fish for? What gets caught?
So both ponds are fully stocked. We have bluegill, bass, some perch in there, some crappie, and big draw though is our catfish. The catfish, we actually host catfish tournaments throughout the summer, and we have upwards of 20-pound catfish in both ponds.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So is it catch and release here? Or is
All
it...
catch and release.
Okay.
All catch and release. You don't need a license to fish here. So yeah, it just is a offering of some really good fishing.
So you were saying earlier you've caught a pretty nice size fish out of here.
I've caught, my biggest one here is probably about 14 pounds. My personal record is 30 though.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Quite the fisher woman. Okay, what's the favorite bait to use around here? What do you hear as
Oh my gosh, the stinkier the better.
Oh.
The stinky baits are it. They make dough balls with them. They make just sacks of stinky bait. I just, it's good.
Stinky bait.
Just stinky bait, yes.
Okay.
But they do, chicken liver, hot dogs. Catfish aren't all that terribly picky as long as it's something soft and mushy that, they'll hit after it, yeah.
Nice. All right. So I don't know. I just can't imagine having 200 kids around all the ponds. And I know I've been here before with my kids, and it's absolutely just full, and they have so many helpers here to help the kids. Just a great learning day for them. And what weekend is that again?
It is the first Saturday in June.
First Saturday in June. Get your kids signed up because it's an awesome event that way.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's head on over to the house.
Okay, let's do.
All right.
Let's do.
So we're up here in the Bennett homestead now.
Yes.
And it's just amazing because we've been sharing some stories. Well, you've been sharing more. I've just been listening. But I mean, give us a little bit more history about the house, because I mean, I know the walls and there you see the floor. I mean, this is all original from way back in the 1800s.
Yeah. So if you look around, these logs, I mean, they were guessed to have come off the property even. But yeah, 200-year-old logs is what makes up the walls, even the beams in the floor. I mean, those are all, rough cut. And it has taken on just a character that when you walk in here, you feel it. The flooring, this is, we're not sure exactly totally original, but it's definitely old.
Yes.
That's for sure. There's no subflooring under this thing. It all sits on these logs, and it is just a phenomenal piece of history.
And just to imagine that the family was here and they had a ton of kids. I mean, a lot. So
over the years, they had, they brought a few, and then a few more came along later, and they, from Pennsylvania, that was a long trek.
Yeah. But they lived here, and this house isn't really that big.
Yeah.
And so if you could just imagine, and you'll see pictures, but it's just like, just imagine living in this house, and this being your main, maybe your living room, as you call it, because there's a fireplace here, and having all those kids here. It's just like, I'm sure they had to share, more than 2 or 3 or 4 maybe in a room at some point in time.
Oh, I'm sure, because there's 3 bedrooms upstairs. So yeah, there was some sharing of the bunks, I'm sure.
And just pretty awesome to know that the logs came here from the farm, that they would have, and the work that they did on it, on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so give us a little bit. You're in the process of, I shouldn't say trying, you are restoring it, parts of it. So give us a little bit of what that looks like and what you're doing.
So we have a committee that, each one of them has a special talent. That, one of them can do the woodworking, one of them knows about, the horsehair plaster down to the, the stuff in between the logs. I mean, they have each and every one of them brought their sense of knowledge, and it has given us the ability to take, when you walked in here, it just looked like a 1980s paneled walled living room, and they've changed it into literally a step back in time. We have taken all the horsehair plaster off, exposed all the logs. We have brought in lighting to help with low voltage lighting, but they are what they may have looked like back then when they had some electric in their lives.
It's been true, because I look around, I look in the walls, and it just looks like they've like gathered rocks and different sticks, as you see the walls over here, and just, I mean, built them fold, because that's what held them together with the lumber they have in there, and it's truly amazing. So is it open to the public here, or what's
right now, because of the renovations, we're kind of at a standstill of letting people just come through freely. Like last year, the flooring was all in and that type of thing. So we did have it open for Kids Day, and they actually use this as part of Kids Day just to teach about the history. So we had it open. So it's opened periodically when we do open houses and that type of thing. We do have people on site to guard to make sure nobody gets hurt.
So, I mean, it's just very awesome. So is there anywhere that people can find out more about it, or if they want to be involved with the project here?
Oh, absolutely. You can always look on,
Asked you too fast.
www.acwcl.org. That is where you can find us online. And there is a section on there about the homestead.
And do you keep updated pictures on it of what you're doing, or just like updates on it?
They do. They do. As they, it feels like sometimes a completed project, when it's something like this, is just never 100% fully completed, Yeah. So they do, share pictures. We're on Facebook. At Ashland County Wildlife Conservation League, there's pictures there, and so it's all of our events we have here. We try to have it open for people to view, and just taking that nostalgic feeling of yesteryear for sure.
Oh, it's so awesome. I mean, you just need to really come out to the ACWCL and just take a look and get involved. I mean, there's so much to learn here. I mean, just with the house itself, and then even with what you offer here at the farm for the kids. And if your kid's just not so sure, bring them out, get them fishing, enjoy the outdoors. So look them up online. Or call. I'm sure you take phone calls.
It's I do work a full-time job, but we do have a phone, and we try to answer it and get back to people. But yeah, we're just if we're not busy here, we're busy. We're busy out in the yards. It takes a grounds crew to keep the grass all mowed. It takes some of the ladies that do the mulching and the flowers, and it takes all. So.
Well, we're super happy that you joined us today here at the ACWCL with Carmen and her awesome property of so many things that you can enjoy out here.
Yeah.
We are here at Hot Shots Training Center with instructor JJ Bittinger, and he is here, and you do a lot of things here.
I do.
You do. So he's a jack of all trades. But I have one really huge question for you today. So CCW and constitutional carry, because you don't have to have a CCW anymore to carry.
Right.
Why should I have a CCW? Or tell me the difference between those two give us a little insight.
Okay, CCW years ago came about in Ohio, and you had to get so much hours of training and all that stuff. And a couple years ago, they came out with law that said basically we're a constitutional carry state, meaning that you don't have to have a concealed handgun license anymore to be able to carry a weapon concealed. As long as you can legally own a gun, there's nothing prohibiting that from criminal history or anything like that, then you could just carry a gun. The only problem is there's a couple major discrepancies in there that people don't understand. One big one is you can't carry it out of state. Okay, other states don't recognize constitutional carry for anybody other than what their residents of their state. They recognize it for, like Ohio recognizes it for Ohio residents, but not a national constitutional carry. The other main concern is, and people don't realize, that if you don't have a concealed handgun license, the actual training and get the license through the sheriff's office, that you cannot carry your weapon into a school zone, school safety zone, okay? Which, if you have your concealed handgun license, you can enter a school safety zone as far as like picking a kid up from school or whatever that way, as long as you don't exit the vehicle with the gun type of stuff. You pull in, pick the kid up, and leave.
Yeah.
If you don't have a concealed handgun license and you do that, that's a felony.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So those are the two big ones. Now there's all kinds of other little things in there, such as the training that you receive and stuff like that. But those are the big ones that people just don't understand. And I'd hate to see somebody get jammed up in something like that by not knowing. So I always suggest that you definitely try to get your CCW, or concealed handgun license, I'm sorry. And that way you're covered either way. You can also carry it out of state for other states that recognize Ohio's concealed handgun license and the reciprocity there too. So.
Gotcha. Okay. So you do some of these classes here. So where can I find those classes if I'm interested?
Oh, you can check out our website at Hot Shot Shooting Center. We have a website. We also have Facebook. Okay. So the schedules are usually posted on both. You can actually sign up on the classes on the website. You can scroll down to the training classes and purchase your tickets for the class off the site and do it right there.
Thanks for joining us today. We're at Hot Shots Training Center with JJ Binninger.
At Armstrong, our goal is delivering the best possible experience to our customers, because it's not just about getting the job done, it's about doing it right and doing it safely.
Hi, we are here with Doug Fitch at Fitch Pharm.
Yes.
Yes, and if you have never heard of it, you're about to hear all about it right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, okay, you know, before I start showing off all your products, we're here in your little store area, but in your little store you have a ton of everything. But tell me how you got started and, you know, what all you do.
Okay, well, I was born an entrepreneur. I'm not your typical farmer who just grows normal crops, beans, corn, wheat, hay. I never liked that. I never liked being in bondage of when you could get harvest, when you get delayed satisfaction. So I thought there's a better way. My goal when I bought the farm is to have a diverse farm, and we're very diverse. And my goal was to have some type of income come in every month, not just waiting until the fall when our crops come on. Not only that, we as a pharmacist, I wanted to make a product that is healthy for you. Our stuff is all natural. Most of it is organic. We don't grow all of our organic stuff. We don't have enough land to do it. So we make sure our soil is our health, and that's what I'm trying to teach the next generation too. And with that results, I end up making products other than just maple syrup. Now, we moved here 37 years ago. Our neighbors, George and Mary Lou Fike, came across like good neighbors and said, Doug, here's 90 taps, here's 90 bags, bring it over, help us cut and stack firewood, and we'll give you all your syrup. That's the type of neighborhood we want to belong to, and we still try to promote that. There's my beginning. They made the best syrup. My secret of life is I went to whoever I seen that makes the best anything and copied theirs and just perfected it. I'm stacking firewood at the Fike Farm, and they had 37 calls before the season even started. Why? They made the best maple syrup. They taught me how to be the best and how to do the best maple syrup. It was exciting times, fun times, but the entrepreneur kicked in and said, well, what about making some maple candy? And then, you know, we got into some caramel corn, we made this and that. And here we are, my wife, Beth, God bless her, she said, no more, Douglas. I can't hardly sleep at night. I'm so excited to come up with the next project, and that's what we're here. That's why we have a very diverse farm.
Yeah. So we have all these products, which you can come out to our store and you can get, and there's many more items. But so with all this, I mean, it just doesn't happen overnight, and it just doesn't come, you know, packaged, you know, like this.
Yep.
So how do you start? I mean, you've got with the maple syrup, you have to tap the trees.
Yep.
How many trees do you tap?
We have 900 taps on what is tubing now. So we are modern, and we'll see later on, we use what they call reverse osmosis, which takes 75% of the water out and makes us a good steward of our land. And when we do our open houses, I tell people the reason you see these ruts right here, we used to have those all through the woods. Well, if I ran over your feet with a big old tractor tire, it's not going to feel good. I got to put ice on it, but you're just rah, rah, rah. The trees respond the same way. And so because of that, we learned through research to put the new tubing up. It is as much work as having the old-fashioned buckets or bags, but the nice thing is we're much conservative and better stewardship of our land doing it this way. And we produce more syrup literally that way rather than the old buckets. So with that, we've left no imprints literally on the earth now because of research and doing that. We have about 900 on that. We have 900 on what's called on the bags yet, which that is a Amish family that helps me. They just said, we got to put them out in this woods. And I said, oh, okay, we did it. And I said, we're going to do 300 buckets, 300 bags. And Dad said, them boys went crazy and did 900. So anyway, I'm glad for it. They get a real good sweet deal out of it. And
No pun intended there, sweet deal.
Yeah, no sweet deal. So, and they also hear it. And so we have a great relationship with them, and it's fun. It's fun to see them enjoy an all natural product. We take advantage of things that we don't do correctly, but we do. We go out. We need a warm day, a cold night. When we had it the last couple of days, it's getting at the end of the season. Everybody wants it to be 70 degrees like last couple of weeks, and I'm saying, Lord, I need it to be 30 at night or colder, warmer. Anyway, it's happening today. We've gathered sap already, and we're ready to boil in what we got for the day. But it's labor intense. Everything I do is labor intense, but it's also sweet. So and now when I was a kid, we would hang 4 or 5 buckets on a big tree. We hang maximum 2, and just about everything is 1 tap. And that went against all the old timers thinking. They said, where did they come up with that, Doug? I said, well, listen, in 5 years, it took 5 years, but my trees are healthier and they produce a sweeter sap now. So if I put 5 holes in Miss Sandy here and only 1 in me, who's going to be healthy year after year after year? And so I'm mentoring the next generation to say we don't need to have all those. 1 tap per tree, and it produces just as much sap as we put 5 on without the damage. So we're pretty awesome about that.
So when you do all that, you tap the trees, you've got your tubing, and from that then you gather, and is the next step you take it into where you're going to boil. Is that correct?
Yep, we bring it and run it through some filtration to clear it up, any bugs or anything that gets in there, leaves, little buds, whatever. Then we run that through a reverse osmosis, which takes about 75% of the water out. And we go from 2% to about 12%, which cuts our time. We've been able to boil 100 gallons of water off an hour with the evaporator we have, and 1,200 gallons would be 12 hours. Now we can do it in 4. So we save on electricity, wood, labor. It's just makes us efficient, very efficient. And the farmers need to do that. We were finding that's why they get bigger tractors and equipment. That makes us efficient. So why? So we can actually make a living off of it.
So when you start with all that, and we're going to go over here and see that here in just a second, but how much do you put in there, and however many gallons of whatever all your recipe is in there, how much do you get out? Because I'm sure you start with a lot, and then you end up with...
Well, 48 gallons at 2% will give us a gallon of syrup. So you take 48 into 1,200 gallons. Let's just make it easy, 50. You're going to get... Yeah, I'm not thinking today. So you'll do the math at home. It'll be good exercise for you. But that will make us, 18 to 20 gallons of syrup. That's what we do. Then the syrup is pure syrup. It's just that it's clear color. It's white. And when it's all done, it's just an amber, beautiful color of syrup with that fine maple syrup. It goes right from there into the canner unit. It goes through a filter press. The filter press takes all the niter out, what they call, which is the byproduct of making syrup. It's like your tea kettle gets minerals. So we run that through a filter press to take the minerals out, to polish the syrup when we put it in glass, and it just makes it, the best syrup ever. So then we jug it either in jugs for the store here, or we put it in barrels for future use when we need need more.
And that's I mean, you can keep
Yep.
maple syrup for like ever.
Yeah,
Wow.
yep. As long as it's hot packed and sealed, that will last until you open it up. Once you do, though, it has to be refrigerated because there's no preservatives in it. It's all natural. Pretty much every maple producer makes all natural, I would say even organic syrup. So, yep.
Well, let's take a look. Let's head on over to the boiler.
Yes.
Yes, and let's just see what happens over
We'll
there.
see if that crew's got things going.
That's
so.
right.
Okay, here we are back
in the
we're
boiler.
from the woods. We run everything, our sap, through what we call reverse osmosis. Like I said, it takes our sap down to about a fourth of what we normally would do. It's super sweet sap. Once it gets here, we pump it up to our tank above. Everything is gravity fed into our evaporator. We'll get some shots of this. Right now, some of my crew here is Gene Espeshade. He's a brother from another mother. His wife is here, Joni. They run Whetstone Concessions, and she cooks a few meals for us down here, keeps us in good shape. Gene helps us gather. We also help his family farm with tapping their trees. So it's a community event here. Ann is an employee here. She's over there getting her steam facial done. You know, my mom's hair would fall down and she'd have a fit this time of year, but we're just happy to be here. And you can smell. Unfortunately, you can't smell, but we can smell the sweetness.
It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, you see the sap going up here. We use some modern technology. Like I said, we have an automatic draw off, but that still has to be set with what we call a hydrometer, which is testing the specific density of the syrup. It doesn't fluctuate with the barometric pressure like a normal temperature would. The kid that's here, second generation, will be third really. My dad was here, I was here, and that is Mark. As our son, he does the firing. Gene still does, but my knees are horrible. I don't know why. We don't have enough time. Anyway, this is our sugar house, and this is what happens here. So we're having a great time. We get sap to boil, and here we are.
So this will take, you're saying this is what takes 4 hours?
Yeah, if we would have had that 1,200 gallons of sap in, we start to finish would be about 5.5 hours. It takes about 20-30, since we use wood, it takes about 20-30 minutes to get that first batch off and get things going, and it takes that long to cool everything off. And when you're doing that, Mark's cleaning up. I go to the house and go to bed.
Yeah. So this will take, so right now for what you have in there now, how long is Mark going to have to stay up tonight?
He'll be done in a couple hours.
Oh.
We didn't have that much sap this time.
Okay,
So
all right.
we'll be done in a couple hours, which is
Early night tonight.
Yep.
All right. So with
So-
what you have in there, how much is that going to make? Because it looks like a lot, but
Normally we get 10 to 15 gallons a day with it.
Okay.
So we use firewood that's slab wood from the Amish mills, lumber mills around here, plus we cut trees that have been blown over, we cut them up for the maple syrup season. So, but with the RO, we only need about 4 to 6, about 6 cord of firewood instead of 12 or 14. So it's pretty awesome to save my back.
You're putting your special recipe.
Everything
All
is
your
all there. The
love
top
and-
secret is in there. I just gave it to a young Amish girl the other day, and she said, "Really?" I said, "That's it. You'll make the best syrup." Now I got competition out there, but it's at that time of my life to start mentoring the next generation. I'm glad that we have our kids wanting to do this, and the neighbor kid that come down, and and Whetstone Concession feeding us, and anyway.
So do you have a, as far as advertisement or anything like that? How can people find you?
Yep,
or?
we have our website. Naturally, we're on Facebook. Our daughter, Mark does that. Our daughter Jill does most of that for us, because she got the special words, a little bit of dad. But that's it. You go there or just come on down to the farm. It's 1591 Township Road 1353, Ashland, Ohio. We're just off Route 42. Mm-hmm. My famous landmark is Willowdown Nursery. If you go past that, you went too far. We do have a big sign out there. And right now, just come and watch the steam. You follow the steam, you'll follow us to here. So anybody's welcome anytime. So.
Well, thanks for joining us here today at Fitch Pharm. Come here and get your maple syrup, your honey, your taffy, your pancake mix, your honey suckers, and you still have you have your milk, so you have all
Yep.
You have those goodies. So
Yep.
come here for a little bit of everything. Thanks for joining
Yep.
us.
Yep. Thank you. Bye-bye.